Hi everyone, Drini here, and welcome to my channel. So we're going to take a look at the Axie Infinity ecosystem today, AXS, SLP, and even the Ronin blockchain, because given the recent Bitcoin capitulation, it appears that retail has really given up and we see massive selling across the board for all of our altcoins out of fear. So let's dive into the charts just to see what's going on and to identify are there any opportunities out there for the Axie Infinity tokens. And let's dive in. So the first thing that we're going to look at here is we're going to look at the Ronin blockchain. And as you can see, this was the impact of the hack. But after this particular hack, you will have a crisis of confidence that follows. It also doesn't help that Bitcoin and the crypto markets have pretty much capitulated right here. So when capitulation events happen, what tends to really bear the brunt of the downtrend are the tokens that have betrayed the trust of its community because of either recent hacks or exploits. The thing to note about Ronin though is you have a situation where the RSI is really oversold at these levels right here. So a potential opportunity here would be if Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto markets are finally bouncing back from here and we're not going to capitulate further, then do expect a relief rally right here or even just sideways consolidation like this before hopefully when people regain trust back on the Ronin blockchain, then we eventually move up. Either way, from the all-time high to the all-time low right here, we have actually fallen by 71%. So if you're probably wondering how low we could go with Ronin, we are far off from the potential downfall right here. As you know, in the crypto space, projects or tokens can fall as much as 95%. So a 95% drawdown from the all-time high would be around 15 cents right here. So even though there's a potential opportunity from an RSI perspective, the key thing to note here is do watch out. Ronin remains very risky because not only do you have a crisis of confidence, you also have a capitulating market right here. When we actually dive into the news just to see how Ronin is currently performing, Sky Mavis has added 5 new validators for Ronin, and now the total number of validators for the Ronin blockchain is currently at 14. That is not a lot of validators. So personally, I am staying far away from this blockchain, to be honest with you. While I believe in Axie Infinity, the game, Ronin, the blockchain, really lacks the decentralization it needs to provide the security of holding your assets over the long term. So the next one is SLP. When we go to the SLP charts right here on a weekly time frame, speculators and traders really have used the origin announcement opportunity to be able to trade SLP and profit from it, both in this particular case at around early January and also this particular period right here at around March. Once again, like I've been telling you guys, these are opportunities that you really have to use in order to cash out your SLPs, because what's happening is as long as Origins is not yet implemented in the game, and as long as you still have status quo where SLP is still being printed an infinite rate because the players are still very active with Axie Infinity, then of course expect that further price downtrends will be at play here. It also doesn't help that Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto markets are still capitulating, so this one is most likely continuing to go down until further notice. So finally, let's move on to AXS right here. To understand the AXS journey, it's very important to understand that AXS has been forming a 5-wave Elliott wave structure on a macro time frame ever since its inception on November 20. So you can actually see right here that this is your wave 1, this is your wave 2 correction, this is your wave 3 high right here of around 100 plus, $170-ish. Currently, we are at the wave 4 correction before hopefully the subsequent wave 5 destination somewhere in the future. Is there a way for this eventual wave 5 destination to be invalidated? Yes. In Elliott waves, what happens is if the wave 4 low will breach this wave 1 high right here of around $11.43. So for example, if Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto markets eventually really capitulate, bringing AXS down to below $11.43, then this whole Elliott wave structure is pretty much invalidated. But right now, we are far away from that particular scenario at the moment. But is it possible for AXS to be below $11.43? Of course, because this is crypto, anything can happen. Right now, the current drawdown is around 83%. An $11.43 price range from the all-time high would be around 93% down. Very feasible because we have already seen that across multiple gaming cryptos that we cover. It is very much possible to have a 90 to 95% drawdown, especially if Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto markets fully capitulate and we go to a bear market. But we're not there yet. So the thing to note about AXS is we need to find the structure that this particular downtrend is adhering to. And it can be quite tricky, but I think I found it. So if we draw a reverse Fibonacci, where this is your one right here, which is when the candle confirmed that we are officially breaking through this particular structure right here on a weekly time frame, this 55 EMA, and this is your zero, where the zero is the all-time high right here. What we're currently doing is we are currently going through a journey adhering to the Fibonacci structure right here. As you can see, we have been in this chasm right here. We attempted to break it, but we met resistance at the 0.618 right here. We were trying to hold this line, this particular one structure right here of around $44. But look at what happened when we finally capitulated. When we capitulated, we explored this chasm very quickly on a weekly time frame. Blasted past the 1.272 right here, found support at the 1.414 of around $25, climbed back up, closed back at the 1.272 right here, and right now we are beginning the week resting on the 1.272 right here. So moving forward on a weekly time frame, where could we go from here? Now that we have found our structure that adheres to a Fibonacci, then it allows us to be more educated as to where could we potentially go. If Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto markets continue to capitulate, or we have a capitulation event, these are the levels to watch out for. $30 right here, which is the current price level of AXS, 25.5, which is the 1.414 where we found support, 19.52, which is the 1.618 extension of this particular structure, and the 2 right here, which is 1178. If we really further capitulate from here, then don't be surprised if we find support on the 1618 extension, because this is pretty much the end destination for this particular structure. But what the market tends to do every now and then is when you have major capitulation to the downside, if you break this 19.52 level right here, the next level is this 2, which is very, very close to the wave 1 high right here. And the reason why from 19 to 11, this is pretty much a steep drop, is because this is the way Fibonacci works. There's a large chasm from the 1.618 to the 2. So as we continually break here, we will most likely find support at the 1618. But if we break through the 1.618, then an $11.78 price for AXS is very likely. When this happens, this price level right here for AXS is actually your accumulation opportunity of a lifetime, because it's not like Axie Infinity is gonna go away. So if you find yourself at an opportunity to be able to snag a few AXS around these levels, when the bull market picks back up, then do expect that we will just continue to blast off from here. However, if we have found the bottom, so let's say we go back on a bullish uptrend where Bitcoin's price would be above 40,000 again, above our weekly structure, where could we potentially go for AXS? So when we overlay the structure where this is now the low and this is the all-time high right here, the 1618 extension of this particular structure is $522 right here. So if we start to pick back up from 26 to 522, we do have an upside target of around 1,892%. This is, of course, assuming that the crypto markets pick back up. This is assuming that Axie's origins would really be a substantial upgrade to the game. And this is, of course, assuming that mass adoption for Axie Infinity will definitely happen in the future. So this price target right here, we will not get there overnight. And you're probably wondering, does this 1618 target actually make sense in the first place? From an Elliott wave structure, yes, it actually does. Because in Elliott wave theory, there are rules. So one of the major rules for Elliott wave is the wave 3 is the longest wave as compared to wave 1 and wave 5. When you overlay the wave 3 level right here, it goes way beyond the 1.618 target that we have. In fact, wave 5 sometimes can have the same length as wave 3 depending on the strength of the rally. This is actually a good stretch target right here, the 2.72 of around 1,735. But if you're more conservative, of course, then the 1618 target, we know then is a realistic target assuming everything goes well. So let's hope and pray that we are finally out of the woods and Bitcoin would be picking up from here, because the rest of the crypto market can really use a break. as most of our portfolios, I'm assuming, are bleeding profusely because of this particular downtrend right now.